Good morning and welcome to Monday Morning Empowerment, a time where we motivate and challenge you to live your life with purpose and authenticity. Let's join Hewlette for today's session.
Welcome to Monday Morning Empowerment. I want to say a hearty welcome to our Gospel Live 365 listeners that listen to our broadcast all over the world. So I am so excited about what I want to share with you on this morning. And I'm going to be very transparent. I want to put that up front. I am being transparent with you. So whatever you take away from this, I pray it will be a blessing. And I pray that you will be empowered even more to trust God. You know, we know who God is. For the most part, we know who God is according to his scripture. And we even know even more about who he is based upon the experience that we have with him. Okay. So our experience builds hope. Our knowledge of the word brings hope. And just seeing his hand in the earth, seeing him do his thing in the earth, the creation that we walk around in, you know, the foliage, just changing of the seasons. We know that our God is awesome. And that does not change no matter what we experience. But can I be transparent with you? There are times when we are in a struggle. And even though we know he's powerful, even though we know he is great, things happen. Things happen. And as I said a few moments ago, I am going to be so transparent with you. All right. And I believe it's going to be for God's glory. So last week, I shared the word, I'm not tapping out. And I talked about how tapping out means to give up and to want to throw in the towel. And God encouraged us last week that we can't, that's not who our nature is. That's not who he has called us to be. And when we feel overwhelmed, when we feel like tapping out, there's certain things that, you know, we can utilize, certain mechanism or certain strategies rather, we can utilize to help us get through this. And one of them was to trust God and with all our heart and leaning not to our own understanding, but in all our ways acknowledge him and he will direct our path. Another one was to wait. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. And the scripture I used last week was wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord, right? And then I said also to worship, pray, and worship. So I was done with Monday Morning Empowerment. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes in getting it out to the world. So not only you on Facebook experience this, but I also upload to my personal page Monday Morning Empowerment. I edit it, I upload it, and I send it out. And that usually takes about 2 or so hours for me to get that done. So after I was done with that, I had a conversation with a great friend of mine, a male best friend of mine. And he called and I was just sharing the goodness of the Lord and also Monday Morning Empowerment. And he was just saying, you know, Huey, you've been through a lot lately, and not only lately, but for years. And I'm so proud of you because I don't know if I could handle all of that you've been through. I don't know if I would still be standing. And I said, yes, you would. I know if someone were to say, you're going to go through this, we would say, nah, I wouldn't make it. But once you're in it and God is with you, you can make it. So he was just encouraging me and I was encouraging him. And after I was done with the conversation, I began to do the other things that I do normally throughout my week regarding ministry. And I want to tell you, suddenly, and I'm being very transparent with you, suddenly a feeling of distress, a feeling of I don't want to say confusion, but questions rose up in me. And I began to think of the call of God on my life. When he called me 13 years ago to go into full-time ministry and what I thought that looked like. And it wasn't what I thought it would be, especially for the first 8 years, because for the first 8 years, I was called to take care of my parents. And I didn't even know that. Yes, they are deceased now. It's been 2 years since my dad is gone and 5 years since my mom is gone. So for 8 years, I was the one that was helping to take care of my parents, not realizing that was part of the ministry that God had given me. Still, for a while, I lived off my savings, and God began to really make it profitable for me by my books being sold, for me getting speaking engagements. But then things started to dwindle down. And when I would have like about 12 or more speaking engagements for the year, if not more, even this year, it went down to what? 3 speaking engagements. So, of course, the enemy rushed in with, yeah, God called you to do this. And you don't even have enough money to even do what your heart wants to do. And then I began to ponder on the promises of God to me. Like I said before, I'm being very transparent with you because there's a word that God has given me, and I want to share that word with you. And so I began to think of the call of God on my life, and I began to just rehearse the things that he had promised me, the things that I've done, the things I gave up. Can I be real with you? I gave up a lot. I gave up my well-paying job. I went into full-time ministry. I'm not on a paid staff. All these things were coming to me, and anyone looking at me would not know that I don't have a full-time job. I don't have money coming in every month, but God has sustained me. And not only that, not only on the financial side, but there are things that God has promised me, saints, that I am looking for, that I've seen some of them, but the median, the weightier promises, I haven't seen. So this feeling of God, how long came over me? And I began to question God, and I began to think about the things that has happened, the things I've endured, the things I've given up. And I began to weigh that against God's promises to me and how he has taken care of me and how he has never let me be ashamed by not having. He has supplied my needs. It may not be when I expected them, but there are times where I'm on pins and needles saying, God, how are we going to do this? How are you going to work this out? How is this going to go? And so it's a life of sacrifice. It's a life of transparency with God. It's a life that I never thought I could live because I was always one who I've been working since I was 14 years old. Let me tell you, I'm Jamaican, and Jamaicans love to work, and Jamaicans love money. So can I tell you, I've worked since I was 14 years old, went to school, have several degrees, had a wonderful job, close to making almost, 80,000, if not more. And just all what was take place. And God pulled me away from that. God said, I am calling you to me. So yes, again, I weighed all of that against what I was feeling. And the weight was so heavy on me, I began to cry. And can I tell you, I wasn't just crying like, the regular tears just coming down your eyes. I began to weep. I began to mourn. I began to say, God, have I sinned? Am I delaying your promises? Am I delaying your process? Is there something else that I need to do? I don't want to be like the children of Israel because they doubted you and they murmured and complained. You had them going into the wilderness for 40 years to prove them. I said, God, it has been 13 years. And I said, God, is there anything else for me to learn? If there is, I want to learn it. Let me learn it because I want to fulfill your promises. There are so many wonderful things that I want to do for you. Ministry work I want to do for you. I want to extend and have the ministry expand. I want to reach folk for you. There's not a time when I say it's all for me. It's all for the glory of God. I want to do more, Lord. But finances and the things that you promised me and the doors you said were going to be open, I don't know who this is for, but God told me to be transparent with you this morning. So I'm being very transparent. And I was saying this to the Lord, and I was weeping, and I was crying. And, I cried so hard, like, when a baby hyperventilate, like, I was crying like that. Yes, me in my mid-years, I was weeping. And I said to the Lord, I said this to the Lord. I said, God, am I holding up the process? Am I delaying the process? What must I do to allow your will to be done in my life? To allow the promises that you've made to me to come to pass? Am I the problem? My God, I don't know who this is for. Am I the issue? Am I the holdup? Am I the one that's delaying seeing your hand move mightily? Am I the one that's holding up your glory? Am I the one that's delaying the process? Show me, God. And as I wept before the Lord, and I was quiet for a few seconds, I'm telling you, saints, a voice came into the room where I was. And let me tell you, this is the word of the Lord that I want to share with you this morning. A voice came, the voice of the Lord came into the room with me. And I don't want you to think this is weird, because God speaks, and he speaks on many fronts. He speaks through other people. He speaks through his word. He speaks through the prophetic utterings. He speaks through visions and dreams. And let me tell you, he can speak through perfect strangers to us to get us where we need to get. So don't think what I'm about to share with you is strange, that God came in the room and spoke thunderously to me. It's in his word. He spoke to Elijah when he was in the whirlwind, and the fire came and the thunder came, but God was in a still small voice. He spoke to David in all his psalm. He spoke to Moses through the burning bush that was not consumed. So why do we think we're not worthy of hearing him? Why do we think we're not worthy of him speaking to us? So this is the word the Lord gave me that shifted my perspective. Now, I wasn't complaining. It wasn't a complaint. Some may construe it as that. I was lamenting before the Lord. I was wondering, why am I still here? Why are things the way they are? Let me tell you. And the voice of the Lord came into the room and said, after I said, am I the holdup? Am I causing delay? Am I holding up your glory from being revealed? Am I the cause? And this is the word the Lord said to me. I heard this voice. You are not that powerful. Think about that. That's the wow factor. God said to me, you are not that powerful. That word dried up my tears. That word had me refocusing. In essence, what God was saying to me, Hewlette, because I made this promise, because I wrote it, my God, because I wrote it in the annals of time that you would be here on the face of the earth, who you would be, who you would become, how you're going to live out my glory, how you're going to promote my name in the earth, how you're going to walk through doors that I've ordained for you. Nothing you could do could hold up what I have for you, my God. Nothing you could say could prevent me from performing my work, my desire, my promise into your life. God said to me, Hewlette, you're not that powerful. You cannot hold up the process. You cannot delay my promises. You're not that powerful. And when God said that to me, that pumped more life into me. That pumped more energy into me. That pumped more vim and vivacity into me. And I refocused and I became all right. And let me tell you, that was right after, 3 hours after, I said, don't tap out. I said to you, don't give up. The thought of giving up didn't come, but I was weighted down. And God said to be transparent with you this morning. And that's what I want to share with you. You may be going through something and you may be asking the same questions. Are you causing the delay? Are you causing things to not be what God has promised? And God is saying to you on this morning, you're not that powerful. You're not that powerful to hinder what I have for you. Because you see, at the end of the day, I always say at the beginning, middle, at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, it's all about his glory. It's not about Hewlette getting this or attaining that. All that we attain, all that we get, all that we seem to work for, at the end of the day, it should all point back to him. It should all point back to his glory. It should elevate his name in the earth through you. It should promote him. It should declare who he is in your life. So it's not about me getting the glory. My energy, my lament, my sorrow was to see God fulfill his will in my life. I wasn't asking for a palatial house. I wasn't asking for billions of dollars. I wasn't asking that my name be on the radio. None of that. The promises that God has made to me, 90, if not 99% of it has to do with fulfilling his will in the earth. And for me to be able to do so without any hiccups, without having to worry, without having to fret, and just certain things I desire and that God has made promises to me. Peter said to the Lord, what's going to happen to those who give up everything for you? He said, those who have forsaken mother and father and has given up all things for me shall gain double in this life. Not in the one to come. I'm not worried about in the one to come. I've already accepted Christ. I know I am saved. I know I have a position, a seat in the kingdom. So in the kingdom that's coming, I don't have any worries about that. It's in the kingdom of God being done in the earth now, in this dispensation, in this season. So I want to say to you, you're not that powerful. Do not give up. Wait on the Lord. And then on, I think it was Friday, I got the flip side of that word. You're not powerful, meaning you're not able to hold up God's hand and prevent him from doing what he wants to do. And the flip side of that word even encouraged me more. And this is not for me to get big-headed or anything. It's just to be confident and have a blessed assurance as to who I am. When he said, you're not that powerful, I also heard, you're powerful. Because him saying you're not that powerful also says, you're powerful. Yes, you are powerful. What God has entrusted to you, the faith that you have, the confidence that you have in him, the trust you have in him, he's already deposited all that we need to become victorious. He says, I've given you all power. All right. So we are powerful, but I want you to know today, you're not that powerful to hold up God's hand, to delay his promises to you, to fulfill his will upon your life, because it's about him getting the glory, not you, not me. I hope my being transparent with you this morning encourages you. I know I run the risk of possibly being laughed at, probably being talked about. Because, when God called me into full-time ministry, I used to think, well, God, I've helped so many people. And God said to me, when others didn't understand my resigning my job, my great paying job, to trust God unconditionally, God says, don't be upset at those who don't understand. I didn't call them. I called you. And that's what brought soothing calm to my heart over 13 years ago, when God began to really deal with me on going into full-time ministry. I love what I do. And I know you love what you do too. And sometimes you're at your wit's end trying to figure out, okay, God, I know I'm supposed to do this and I'm doing it. What's next? Or how can I begin to walk out what you have for me next? Because what I have right now, I need more. God says you will not hold up the process. He's coming. He will not delay his coming. He will fulfill his promises to you, and you will see his hand at work in a greater measure. So thank you for allowing me to share a bit of myself with you. I have some great close friends that know the intimate details of everything that transpired in my life, but I wanted to share that part with you, especially last Monday when this thing happened. I was hit with this. And I want you to know, as leaders, as pastors, as supervisors, as people who lead others, it doesn't mean we're immune from some of the things we experience. But can I tell you, we have the experience to be able to build others when the time comes. So I chalk this whole experience up to the opportunity that I'm able to share with you and encourage you. And I pray you will share this with others so they too can continue to hold on. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding, and he will direct. He will encourage. He will love on us, and he will keep us, because that's the kind of God he is. Continue to trust him. Thank you for being with me this morning. I pray you are blessed and have an awesome rest of the day and beautiful week. I love you. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for supporting Monday Morning Empowerment. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day. Love you.
Thank you for joining us today. If you were blessed by our sessions, show support by making a tax-deductible donation. Go to iLoveNow.org and click the donate button. Please share this session and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, God bless you.